Bonjour, madame and monsieur. Here I am again in French France, on my way down from Dieppe to Malaga. Going to go and collect some freight down in Malaga, Spain. On the way, I've got a couple of stops because it's quite a distance. So I've already had one overnight, just about in what was the name of that place? Le Mans racing circuit area. Yes, that's due next week, the Le Mans 24 hour. Never been, would like to go to that. Perhaps one day. Not sure how long this video is going to go on for. The phone might have fallen off its cradle again. Tried it just now and it fell off. So I've got to get a better cradle. But anyway, since my last video, I was on the other side of France, going down to Italy, I think. Lake Garda was the last video, and that was just over a week ago when I got back from there. That was a successful trip. So the trip this time is I'm going all the way down into Malaga empty, and picking up the freight which has to be delivered into Germany. And then from Germany I will be given further advice. Kind of hoping that it's straight back home, to be honest. You know, that's going to be a probably up to 10-day job, that one. So yeah, there we go, that's what we're up to. This side of the country is a bit nicer to look at, a bit more to look at, more towns in the distance, not just rolling fields for kilometre after kilometre. That's a little bit better here. So yeah, stopped off for a sleepover. I've done my 9 hours at Le Mans. I'm hoping that I can get to where am I going? Bordeaux. I'm hoping I can get to Bordeaux for my next overnight, and then after Bordeaux I'm going to go down towards Zaragoza, or Zaragoza as the Spanish call it. And then from there I'm going to go and see a pal of mine, I haven't seen for years. He lives in Murcia area. So I'm going to pop down and see the lovely couple, Paul and Glynis. Probably going to stay for a night there, and then I will get the address. I don't even know where I'm going yet. The company I work for, they tend to service customers who haven't got an actual address of where the freight's going to be picked up until they know where they're going to be putting it. So we haven't got a collection address yet. It's definitely on, otherwise they wouldn't send me all the way down there. But yeah, so a collection address somewhere in Malaga for Wednesday. Today's Sunday. They give me plenty of time to get there. Picked a different route this time, rather than Dover Calais. We can wait hours before you get from the motorway just onto the boat. I went via Newhaven, and there was only 2 trucks on the whole ferry, myself included. So there's one Arctic and this one. Completely empty floors. I think there was about 15 to 20 campers and assorted wobble boxes, caravans in other words. I'm getting the lingo now with this. Proper trucker. So yeah, there weren't many people on that boat. I don't know how long they're going to keep doing that ferry from Newhaven, because it's just not being used. It needs to be more well known, or not. You know, do the people want to know it? Do the people want to do that? Do they want lots of trucks going in and out of Newhaven? The infrastructure's not really built for it, and the port itself is ragged. Let's put it that way. At best, a lot of the ground that you're driving over is just cracked and broken up. It's not very good. It needs updating quite a lot. Hopefully they're doing that, but to me it looks like they're just letting it go to rack and ruin. Then they'll pull the ferry out eventually, because it's just not, doesn't seem to be making any money. The ferry itself's okay. Unexpectedly, I even got a bunk provided with the cost that the company paid, so I made use of it. Had a couple of hours sleep on a 4-hour journey. I didn't want to sleep the whole journey, otherwise I'll be up all night. And the way I run my shift and my tacho, I drive during the day, not overnight. Otherwise I look a mess. I'll be zombified when I go and pick up stuff and drop stuff off. So yeah, that's what I do. I drive during the day. So once I got over the other side of the water, I drove out of Dieppe for a while, and then I pulled over. So I'm currently doing 56 mile an hour restricted, listening to a bit of music, and there we go. I'm not long pulled out of my first 4.5 hour stop. So that 45 minutes was up and I've driven off, and I've been going 20 minutes. So there we go, I've got 4 hours really till I stop again. I might stop in between, you know, for a visit to the loo if I need to be, but if not, I'll just keep on going for the 4 hours. I don't need to stop. I've had my lunch, a tin of full Monty breakfast. It weren't all that, you know. Basically got beans, 2 little sausages, 2 little bits of meat, which is probably pork, a couple of squares, and I mean just a couple of bits of diced potato, about 5 bits, a full tin of beans, and that's what they call a full Monty, no egg in it. They'll probably go off on it. So I had a tin of that. And the service station I was at, they've got fresh food there and sandwiches and stuff. So I went and got a French stick, and I broke a quarter of that off, bought some butter, and had a nice French stick with a full Monty breakfast. That made it a bit more bearable. Tonight I probably won't bother with any dinner. Once I get to the 4 hour stop, I'll probably do myself a cup of tea, and then climb into the bunk and crash out for the night, get my 11 hours in, not 9. Now I've had a 9, I don't want any more this week, so I want to do 11 hours stops, as is required by law in the EU. There we go. So there's not much else to tell you really. The job's going really well, I absolutely love it. I didn't think I'd find the job where I enjoy it as much as I enjoyed my own business, but I enjoy this just as much, and it's exactly what I wanted. It is a lot less labour intensive. I know I just sit here like a vegetable all day driving, but when I do get out for breaks, I tend to walk around the service area quite a bit, and when I stop at delivery points or pick up points, I tend to get there as early as possible and go for walks then. And on these roads through France and Germany and that, you find there's a lot of picnic areas. So if you fancy stopping, or you have to stop for a toilet break, you can make the most of that picnic area and go for a walk around that area, or you can go in the field to go for a walk. Nothing stopping you getting exercise really. A lot of these truckers are on companies where they want them to a 45-minute break and that is it. But my company just give me a day to get there, say let's say Wednesday, and they say don't care how you get there or when you get going, you got to be there by Wednesday. So I tell them to book the ferry or whatever route I'm going on for an open ticket, which they do, and I pick and choose when I want to go. They advise me when they think it'll be best because they've been doing it for years, and I take their advice. But we work together on it. You know, I had a family do going on yesterday, day before yesterday, sorry, Friday. A lot of the family get together, all of the family basically getting together for the first time in years. I didn't want to miss out on that, otherwise I would have left on Friday to come and do this job, but it's still no rush. You know, I've got till Wednesday to get there. It's now Sunday. I'm easily going to do it. I'm going to get a whole day off down Paul's place so I can catch up with them, have a couple of drinks by the pool. Ooh, yeah, they got a pool. They're living the dream and all. Yeah, so like I say about the job itself, I absolutely love it. I get to mess about with the sort of freight that I deliver. Can't go into any detail, but I am very interested in what I deliver and what I collect for people. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Well, I can tell you what it is actually, but I can't give you any details of it. I'm a car transporter, so that's it. That's what I do. I transport vehicles, and the vehicles aren't any ordinary vehicles. They are very, very nice vehicles. So there we are. That's what I'm doing. I'm collecting a very nice vehicle down in Malaga, delivering that to somewhere in Germany. And if I get permission from the company, I don't think I will, because the clients are very secretive about their vehicles. But if I do get permission, I will post a couple of pictures, minus the registration numbers and stuff like that, if I get permission to YouTube. I'm not sure I will do, because I know when I first started, I asked if I could take a couple of pictures of some of the vehicles. So I was gobsmacked at what I was moving, and they said no, not, well yeah, you can take a picture, but keep it in your phone for yourself, do not post it anywhere. The customer don't want to find that posted all over the bloody social media. It's their pride and joy, so I won't do it. But some of you that are friends and family, I have shared some of the bits and pieces with you, and please keep it to yourselves as well. I don't want any of that on social media. Alright then, so I think I'll stop rambling on now. Not much else to talk about. There's nothing to show you. It's just trees, fields, and like I said on the other video, every single field I've come across, bar none, are full of crops. And every type of crop you can imagine, it's just tons and tons and tons of crops. Well, I don't think Europe's going to be in any way, shape or form suffering through loss of anything crop-wise. I know what they've been saying on the news, that now that Ukraine's been bombed to shit, the wheat shortage is going to put the prices up of anything wheat based, barley and stuff like that. But you come over here to Europe, there is no shortage, and I'm not sure how big Ukraine is compared to Europe and how much they farm out there, but to me Europe will be doing fine, thank you. I know the UK ain't part of that, but we can still trade with Europe and get our wheat from there. Might be a bit dearer, but there should not be a shortage. Let's hope so anyway. I might be reading it all wrong. It might all be some kind of crop that's nothing to do with wheat, but I'm seeing all sorts out here. That's the good news. I've got no bad news. Yeah. So, any of you guys watching my podcasts, that's what I listen to on the radio. Any of you guys watching my videos about HGV, the road to HGV, I still haven't got my class 1 yet. As you would have heard on my other video, yeah, I didn't pass due to a cock up on a roundabout and a set of traffic lights. Well, I'm going to put pay to that soon. I've got another assessment with a different company close to home. I don't need to go all the way to Wales now. I only did that because I was in a hurry to get it done, which it didn't happen in the end. And luckily I didn't even need it. I'm using my class 2 now. But the company I'm going to work for, they're going to use me in my class 1 anyway, because they've got proper car transporters as well as the 1 and 2 transporters that I use at the moment. But so I've got my assessment coming up in a couple of weeks with this other company, and they're going to just say, yeah, you need 1 or 2 more days to iron out whatever problems I had. I think I only need 1 day. I mean, I've been driving on the road now with class 2 since I passed my test, so the class 1 is not that much different. You know, the reversing's already done, that's already been passed. I'll never be tested like that again, only actually on the job. So all I've got to do is drive it around and cornering around cities, towns and stuff like that, and I know I can do it. God, these bumps. So there we are. I'll keep you posted on the class 1, how that's coming on. really, I can't do much more than that video wise. But like I say, if I get permission from the business to post a couple of pictures, I'll put some on there, and that'll be that. Okay, so as usual, thanks for watching. If any of this is interesting to you, give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And as I said before, it doesn't cost any money. It basically just gives you the opportunity to see, as soon as my new video comes out, you'll get a reminder of that pop up on your screen, just to let you know that I've got a new video out. Otherwise you won't see the new video until you actually go looking for it. And that's the same when you subscribe to any YouTuber. Although some YouTubers get paid for their bits and pieces, I'm not getting paid for mine. I just put mine out there for general use, really. So hopefully some of the content I've given you has been useful. And there's all sorts of jobs out there going. Don't get too frustrated. Actually, I'm not finished yet. I'm going to talk to you about agencies. I've been with a few agencies, and to get you started, as soon as you've passed your class 1 or class 2, they're going to say no, can't get you straight out on a class 1 or class 2. No company is going to trust you with their vehicles until you've had training, or more importantly, experience. How can you have experience? It's the same old question. But some companies out there will trust you, and they'll take you out once or twice, maybe a week's worth of trucking, and then they'll let you go. Finding those companies, that's the problem, finding them. So I contacted quite a few HGV driver companies directly, and I got the same answer back: we need your experience. How much experience? They say, oh, anything from 6 months to 2 years. But in reality, once you've driven a class 2 for a couple of weeks, and you bring that company back, or those companies back, they're going to say, right, okay, we'll give you a trial. Okay, so don't give up. Now with the agencies, they're going to try and chuck you in 7.5 ton lorries and vans. Now if you're like me and you've been driving vans for donkey's years, you don't need experience driving vans. And I've driven quite a lot of 7.5 tons trucks with tacos. So taco and 7.5 ton trucking for me wasn't new. So I had enough experience as far as I was concerned. But when you step foot in your first live class 2 job, instead of getting into a 7.5 ton, there's 1 step or 2 steps up, you're getting 3 and 4 steps up to get into the cab, and you start looking around, and then you realise that you've got a big vehicle there. Then you've got a decision to make. Then are you really up for it? Are you really up to it? If you are, good luck to you. Take it easy, and don't get complacent and think, oh, do you know what, this was easy, it's a piece of piss, because then mistakes will happen, and it doesn't have to be you that causes it, but you need experience to be able to get out of the problems that you're going to come up to, like parking in bays and stuff like that, and manoeuvring long vehicles around other long vehicles with a rear tail swing, stuff like that. It's not things that you're just going to know straight away. This is what these companies mean by experience. So maybe if you're not knowledgeable in the 7.5 ton and van world, take a job from an agency where they'll chuck you out in a 7.5 ton van doing multi-drops, because quite quickly you'll pick up stuff, not the items obviously, but you'll pick up experience. And in a 7.5 ton you'll pick up experience depending on what type of 7.5 ton, whether it be curtain sided, which will be very useful if you're doing a class 1 or class 2, because you'll learn how to strap things down, you'll learn how to undo and refurl up the curtains. Sack barra, pallet trucks, electric pallet trucks, there's all sorts of different things that you can be using that gives you more experience as you go along. Give it 6 months to a year. Sounds a long time, it really does sound like a long time, but give it 6 months to a year before you start banging on these HGV companies' doors directly. Use an agency to give you around 6 months to a year experience going from pillar to post, company to company. That's what I would suggest. I mean, I was lucky with this job, but I kind of fell into it, really. I heard about it, made some inquiries, and it was right place at the right time, and that doesn't happen very often to people. Okay, so bide your time, don't get frustrated too much. But if some agencies are messing you about and giving you no HG experience type work after you've done a month or two though, then walk away and find another agency, because the chances are that agency are just there to help their client, not you. Their client is worth more money than you are, so they'll keep feeding their client people like yourself who are happy to go and do the work constantly. And every time you say, have you got any class 2 work or class 1 work, they'll go, not yet, you need a bit more experience, but you're driving vans or you're driving, 7.5 ton trucks. You still need to be put into a couple of HGV class 1 or class 2 jobs to be getting that experience. You can't do a 12 months in a van or a 7.5 ton curtain sider and then bang on these doors directly and say, right, I've got my experience now. They're going to look at your CV and see 7.5 ton driving. They're going to go, that's not what we need. So make the agency aware that you'll do some of that legwork and a bit of graft in the vans class the 7.5 ton. You'll do a bit of that, but you need to be fed into some class 2 or class 1 work. All right, class 2 preferably. Get some experience on them and then do the class 1s. I was given some van work, multi-drop delivery, and you've seen the videos of me, and I was doing multi-drop delivery for frozen foods around the local area where I live. And then that company said, would you be available to do some night trunking? It wasn't the agency that offered me that, it was the actual company I was doing the van work for. So that kind of fell in my lap, and I'd done quite a few nights working for them. That gave me the class 2 experience. So with that, just a few weeks class 2 experience, refrigerated trucks, using pallet trucks and electric forklifts. Other companies look at that as experience and say, well, yeah, we could use you. We'll take you out for a bit of training, see how you get on for a month, and if you're good enough, they'll keep it. So there you go. That's my take on it. That's my experience of it. But now I've found a company and a job, pays enough. It's not the highest pay bracket, but it's not the lowest pay bracket, so it's good enough. When I get my class 1, that will get better. And the more I stay with them, it'll get better still. And so I'm happy doing what I'm doing at the moment, and I think I'm going to be happy for the foreseeable, as long as they're happy with me. I don't see why they won't be. So fingers crossed, you'll find exactly the same job that suits you, if this is what you really want to do. And for me, I've found what I want to do, and I'm happy doing it. Okay, and I know some of you guys are going to be going, oh, good for you. Friggin' show off. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm just giving you my take on it and saying that it is possible. So, bear with it. You're not going to get it overnight. As soon as you get that HGV pass, you're not going to go running back home, email people, and they're going to take you on the next day, unless you've already had that arranged. Alright? So bear with it. Check out some of the other videos, and they're all telling you the same thing. Just bear with it. But once you get out there, camera coming up. Once you get out there, your experience is just clicking over from then onwards. So always keep details of what you do, when you started, when you finished, who it is for, what you did, and put all that on your CV. you send that CV to whoever you're looking for to get a job, and that can only help. Alright, so good luck with it, job hunting, and if you haven't even passed yet, hopefully the wait has gone down for DVLA to get your provisional licence. As you know, I took 13 weeks to get mine, so let's hope it's gone down a bit. That's bloody unbearable, 13 weeks. So I've got an Arctic just pulled out in front of me. Take it off autopilot. Right, let's try and get by him. I'm not going to overtake him actually. He's doing 60. Yeah, some of these foreign bloody Arctics, they can do 60. I'm sure they do a little bit more than that. I mean, now I'm doing 57 and he's pulling away from me, so yeah, he's doing 60. Yeah, my van, when I put it on auto, it does 56. But if I take it off of that and put my foot down, it will do 58. It's not a lot, is it? But you do that over hundreds and hundreds of kilometres, you know, you're gaining 20, 30 kilometres by just putting your foot down and keeping it on there by the end of it, and that's a long way. Okay, that's enough waffle from me. So Desmondo will be back with whatever happens next. Cheers, thanks for watching.